In this video, we will be discussing decentralization and centralization, and this is also the last topic of the chapter organizing. So after this topic, we will be coming to the end of our chapter, that is organizing chapter. Now, first of all, decentralization. Decentralization refer to systematic distribution, or you can say systematic transfer of authority and responsibility from the top level of management hierarchy to the lowest level. In the previous video we have studied about delegation, and this is somewhat related to delegation also, which we will discuss after some time, the difference between delegation and decentralization. First of all, suppose let's say these are the various levels of management hierarchy. He is the manager. Below him there are various personnel are there. Let's B, C, D and E are there. Below this person there are other, suppose G, H, I. These are the various persons working under them. When A transfers his authority, means a part of the authority and responsibility if A transferred to B, C, D, etc., then this will be known as delegation of authority. This is known as delegation. Again, when B, C or D, any other person, they transfer the authority and responsibility to their subordinate, that is G, H and I. These are the three persons supposed under them. Then also this will be called as delegation. And when this delegation from A to B and from B to other managers below him, if it is transferred, this is known as delegation. And the process through which the authority and responsibility get transferred from one level to the other and then up to the lowest level in the management hierarchy, then it is known as decentralization. When authority and responsibility is transferred from the top level to the lowest level in the management hierarchy, then it is known as decentralization. Means when systematic delegation of authority takes place, then overall this is known as decentralization. When systematically authority and responsibility is transferred from one level to the other and up to the lowest level. When the authority and responsibility is transferred up to lowest level, then this is known as decentralization. Now, why this decentralization is important in an organization? First of all, we should know that is importance of delegation, importance of decentralization we have to discuss. Because decentralization, why it is required? First of all, important thing about decentralization is that it is not required. It is not required when there is a sole proprietor is there. Sole proprietor business is there. So when there is single individual who is managing the business, he do not have to transfer his authority or responsibility to other. Then because the whole decision making authority will be resting or will be with the sole proprietor, then there is no means of decentralization. It becomes essential when the organization grows. When the organization grows, then this decentralization becomes essential or it becomes necessary, because you cannot do away with decentralization, because it will, if one try to do away with decentralization, when an organization grows, then it will result in loss to the organization. It will result to the loss of the organization. So it is important that decentralization take place in an organization when an organization grows also. So its importance, first of all, we should know the importance of decentralization. Growth and expansion of business becomes easy or possible because of decentralization. Growth and expansion of the organization become possible because of decentralization. You can write here also importance of decentralization. Growth of the organization will be possible because of decentralization, because once the organization grows, you can transfer the authority and responsibility, not whole, a part of the authority and responsibility to your subordinate, so that other person can take the decision easily and fast decision making is possible. And you can concentrate on some other activities also, because all the activities it is not possible for one single individual in an organization group to do all the activities of the organization. So in order to get all the activities done, decentralization is required. And because since the organization is growing, more number of activities are to be performed in an organization, then decentralization will be required. And once this is done, then growth of the organization will be possible, because only when decentralization is done, all the activities of the organization can be performed in a smooth manner, and growth will be possible for the organization. Secondly, you can say decentralization helps relieve the senior manager also. It helps in relieve the manager. That is the, you can say, senior manager also, you can say. The senior manager, they get relief from some of the activities which they have to perform. So since they get some relief from all the activities which they have to perform, once they have decentralized, means once they have delegated some part of authority and responsibility to their subordinate, so they can concentrate on more important tasks at hand. So since they get relief, they will be feeling free to do or to focus on some important tasks which they have to do. Because most of the time when delegation is done, that is means systematically delegation is done, which is known as decentralization, up to lowest level when authority and responsibility is transferred. So important tasks are kept by the senior manager in their hand, and rest of the lesser important tasks are transferred, or you can say the authority and responsibility to do that task are transferred to the lower level managers. So in this way they can concentrate on the important task at hand, and in this way, since it is act as a relief, and it will also help to run the organization smoothly also. Third, you can say it is a good training ground also. Training for future manager. Training for future manager. Since authority and responsibility is transferred to the lower level managers, so these managers who get the authority and responsibility to do the task, they work independently. Means they can take independent decision on their own, because they will be having some authority and responsibility. In this way, when they are having some authority and responsibility to take the decision on their own, so it helps to motivation of the employees. Motivation of the employees. Motivation of the employees is possible because if authority and responsibility is given to perform a task to the employee, then the employee's motivation level also increases. They feel motivated there. Means motivation will be since they are getting some authority and responsibility to do, it means they will be feeling motivated, because they will be feeling that we have some important skill or ability to do the work. That is why we are being given some authority and responsibility to do the task also. So it helps the authority and responsibility when the employees get, it helps to motivate the employees. Secondly, there are then faster decision making, or you can say fast decision making. Fast decision can be taken. Faster decision making because of decentralization. When through decentralization, authority and responsibility are shared among the lowest level up to the lowest level in the management hierarchy, then when it helps to take faster decision, because all the employees or workers in an organization or managers will be having some authority and responsibility to take the decision within the specified limit. Whatever the limit has been given, whatever power they have been given, within the given powers they can take the decision. So it helps to take the decision in a faster manner. They can take fast decision because they do not have to consult their senior once they have been given the authority and responsibility to do the task also. Now, one more point we can write. It is better control. Better control is possible because of decentralization, because under decentralization the employees or the manager, they get some authority and responsibility to do the task. So everybody authority and responsibility is fixed. All the managers or all the workers, their authority and responsibilities are fixed. So it helps to take better control in the organization. It is controlling in the organization will be easy because everyone's responsibility and authority is fixed. So if there is any deviation or if the task or the work is not being done, then the particular person fixation of responsibility will become easy. So it helps in better control of the organization, because whenever something goes wrong, the concerned person can be, you can say, he can be asked, or he will be accountable for the work which has been wrongly done. Or if some good work is also being done, then also it is the responsibility, or you can say the person will be appreciated for the good work being done by him. So better controlling is possible because everyone's authority and responsibility is clearly defined. Now decentralization we have discussed. Now come to one topic which related with decentralization is centralization also. Just now I told you decentralization is transfer of authority from the top level to the lowest level in the management hierarchy. Decentralization refer to transfer of authority and responsibility from the top level to the lowest level in the management hierarchy, except some authority and responsibility. Not all the authority and responsibility is transferred to the top level to the lowest level. Means the important work which are related with the organization, which can be only taken by the top level, that is retained at the top, and rest of the authority and responsibility is transferred up to the lowest level in the management hierarchy. Now this is centralization. Let us come to what this is. Opposite of decentralization is centralization. When the entire authority to take the decision rests at the top level, at the top management level, then it is known as centralization. When the entire authority and responsibility rest at the top level, when all the decisions are taken by the top level, then it is known as centralization. It can also be said that centralization refers to concentration in the decision making power. When the decision making power is concentrated in one hand, then or at the one level only, then it is known as centralization. And decentralization, when there is transfer of authority from the top level to the lowest level in the management hierarchy, then it is known as decentralization. Both are, you can say, compulsory. Means you cannot say that decentralization is entirely decentralization and entirely centralization. Both cannot be possible. Centralization as well as decentralization exist in an organization at the same time. Centralization as well as decentralization exist in an organization at the same time, because full centralization it is not possible and full decentralization that is also not possible. Means assuming that A, B, C, these are the various management levels, suppose, and if a transfer, if there is decentralization, suppose complete centralization, means all the powers and authority are being transferred from A to B. If all powers and authority are transferred, so A will not be having any authority and responsibility within. So this will obviate the need for this level of management. If he has already transferred all the authority and responsibility to his subordinate, so he will not be having any authority and responsibility at his hand. So if he will not have any responsibility and authority to perform any task, then this level of manager will not be required in an organization. So complete decentralization is not possible in an organization. Similarly, complete decentralization is also not possible. If suppose these are the various levels in the management hierarchy, if all the powers and authority and responsibility are in the top level, that is A, if A is having all the authority and responsibility to do the work, so need for B and C in the management will not be required at all, because since they are not having any power to do or any task at hand, so this need of this personnel in an organization will not arise. So complete centralization as well as complete decentralization, that is not possible in an organization. To some extent decentralization is required and as well as centralization is required. But it is not compulsory that all the time centralization will be necessary and all the time decentralization will be necessary. But because whenever decentralization is to be done, it is important to be kept in mind that whenever decentralization is done, first of all the ability and the skill of the employees is to be kept in mind before decentralization. Blindly decentralization is not required, because suppose these are the various levels of manager. Simply decentralization is not necessary that he will give some power and authority to B. First of all, his ability to do the work will be evaluated. Once if he is found fit that he has some authority, he has some skill or ability to do the task, then only he will be given some authority and responsibility. Otherwise, it is if his ability is he is not able to perform the task which is to be assigned to him, he will not be given any authority or responsibility. So before decentralization, evaluation of skill and ability of the employees is to be done very carefully.